When they're saying the void, is that the same thing as emptiness?
Yeah. So don't mess up with nothingness.
But it's not nothing.
Voidness, that means, let's say, even, remember, let's say the piece of paper, what happens if I tear it up piece by piece? If the grains is into the powders, it's not nothingness, it comes to void. You understand that? Alright, so, here. Here, what this means is that things do not exist in the way that we have preview or precondition about our rational self suppose they do, right? Okay. So anyways, that's the meaning. Okay. So as long as we attach, as long as we define it's good or bad, as long as we define this is remote control, we fall into this one. But when we view in the ultimate truth, it doesn't nothingness, but because the condition is calm. Make sense? And also it doesn't have the real essence by itself.
Okay, so you're saying we can see things as they really are.
Yeah, that's the point, so simple. And what this means, that is our intuition. We cannot prescribe our intuition in words, is that right? The moment that we describe how our thoughts is functioning and so forth, we fall into the trap of discrimination. We fall into the trap of analysis, or analysis, right? Or making a judgment. Make sense now? So that's what we call the profession of wisdom. The wisdom that go beyond the conventional way of explaining things. Is that clear now?
Will you leave it on the board while I write that down?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Anything is confused you? Right? So basically the Mahayana teaching is that it helps us to go beyond that kind of analytical thinking. Remember I told you about the definition of meditation before? Remember? That is a part of the profession of wisdom there. When we do meditation, we need to let go of our analytical thinking. We need to let go of our discriminative thinking, judgmental thinking, so that we can go back. We can recognize the things the way they are through our intuition.
So that will improve on our thinking.
Yeah. So that's the important teaching. Yeah, and that is why as long as we attach to this body, right? We say, oh, we have the eyes, we have the ears, and so forth. We attach to the body organs, right? We attach to our perception. Is that right? Most of the time, we think that the thing that we view, the thing that we talk, is real one, but it's not real. Is that right? Well, that's why you go to school. You go to school to get knowledge from your biology teacher, math teacher, and literature, so that you can enrich your knowledge. Your knowledge is changing moment by moment. Is that right? You accumulate the knowledge. Make sense? So this is changing, right? But that is in the conventional way. That's because we want to have our career and so forth. But this is going to conventional way, conventional truth. But if you want, especially in Buddhist view, if you want to go back to your pure nature, or good nature, you need to go beyond this. If you want to transform stress, anxiety, this is in conventional truth, right? That's the mental suffering. Remember I told you? This happened to anyone else in the past, present, future. You need to work toward this goal. Like meditation, I told you many times. Go beyond that kind of analytical thinking or discriminative thinking. Whenever we have that thought, we will be in trap. We will get sent in trap. That's where stress comes from. Stress, anxiety, depression, and so forth. Why? Because we try to analyze, we try to discriminate things. If this good, we try to grasp it. If bad, we try to reject. It makes sense? Remember I told you many times? So the reason why the profession of wisdom, sutra, Parami Sutra, the profession has been encourage us to go beyond these 5 organs, go beyond our perception, so that we can work with our intuition.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Is it missing now?
Yeah.
Do you see connection there?
I got it.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
I get rid of a lot of anxiety and
That's the point.
headaches.
That's the point here. Why? Why we have stress? Why we have a lot of problems in our life? Because we stay here. We stay in this kind of realm. Right? When we go beyond that realm, we will say we have that called everlasting peacefulness and happiness. That's the goal of the profession of wisdom here, or what we call Parami. Yes?
So to get to the perfection of wisdom, meditation, you have to meditate. Is that how
Yeah.
you get to it?
Then, remember I told you the definition of meditation. Go beyond. That's go beyond this thing. So that eventually we walk out to this path. Go back to our pure nature of the water. Is that clear now? Okay? And the continuous confused. So you see that's why it's called Heart Sutra. That the heart, or that's the vital, important teaching of the Buddha in Mahayana tradition. Go back to the ultimate truth. Go back to our pure nature, with the nature, whichever Holy Spirit nature, whichever name we can label. Is it understandable?
Yeah.
All right.
Better.
Okay. So that's why it doesn't mean by nothingness, right? Okay. So here in this sutra, it negates everything. It negates the conversion of truth, so that we can walk to this path. Okay.
So it sounds like it's a bad translation almost.
Oh, not bad.
In
No,
Buddhist.
no, not bad. But you need someone to explain.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Even I told you, even the common Buddhists, they may not understand this kind of philosophy much.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but later on, when you work in, let's say, you practice mindfulness, even they say something like, you accept things as the way they are. Remember, you are in this realm. But if as long as you reject or grasp it, you are in this realm. You have the choice. Make sense?
Yeah.
You have the choice to stay in this realm or ultimate realm, right? If you stay here, good luck. Understand that? Your life will be turbulent. Your life will be up and down, right? Like play the game, right? Oh, sometimes we have good feeling, sometimes we have bad feeling. It's up and down. And now in this realm, you will have everlasting peacefulness and happiness because you recognize the things as the way they are. You don't attach to this. One day, when they walk into a airport terminals, and they do, you know, in Chicago they have the it's not the table, but there's somehow in the terminal where people have they made rows of seats, right, and they have some what they call it's not the table, but the place where they put the laptop and to recharge the battery. So at that time somehow my computer was out of battery, so I discharged my laptop, and one man walked past me and he came back and he asked me, "Are you Buddhist monk?" I said, "Yeah, of course." And he said, "Monk know how to use computer?" I don't know. He may think that I stay in the forest. I don't know. You understand that? So again, nothing wrong with laptop, nothing wrong with money, nothing wrong with power, nothing wrong with relationship, nothing wrong with food. The only thing is because of what? This thing here, discrimination. You understand that? How we use them, how we view them, whether we bring benefits for ourselves or benefit others, or we bring the harmfulness for ourselves and others. That's the problems. You see? Make sense now? Is it clear now? Okay. There's many story, many funny story.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Is that clear? Okay. So that's why meditation is so important. Meditation transform. Remember, I showed you the clip, right? Like they scan the brain. It can transform your stress, anxiety into a peacefulness, calmness, and more compassionate. Because you go beyond this discrimination to thought. When you go beyond this, you're in the safe place, in the safe zone. It makes sense now? Yes?
Okay, so I might be taking this too far, but I was going to see if I could use an example from my life about the way it is now and then how it can be in the ultimate truth.
Oh, sure.
I was explaining to you last week, my neighbor is a dog breeder, and it just really hurts my heart, and I suffer because of it, and like I want to try to help her to not do those things. So how could I transform that and not let it make me sad that the dogs are suffering and things like that?
Again, if we stay in this realm, conventional truth, that's what's happening,
I know.
right?
Yeah.
But if you look in the wise way, right? The dog has some kind of connection with the owners, right? And if you try to convince the owners to treat the dog well with all your effort, that's great. But otherwise, it's beyond your ability. Make sense? Sometimes we try to do things, but somehow we have some limitation. But if we attach to that kind of effort, we get stuck. And instead of bring the happiness, peacefulness to other people, we bring the suffering. We add one more layer of suffering. Make sense? So again, in any circumstances, just remember this. Or remember the definition of meditation, and you understand why. When you approach anyone else, when you work with other people, if you use the intuition, you're in the safe zone. But if you use this one, right, you're in the trouble zone. Is that right? You understand that? And your choice. Your choice to play with the games, or your choice to stay in the safe zone. That's your choice. Is that understandable? Okay? Alright, so clear now before I move on? Okay?
Yes,
good.
clear.
Thank you. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Okay, now look at the sutra. Taylor? Oh yeah, what do you have, sir?
I had that it was a Mahayana sutra,
Yes.
which turns out to be the basis for the Tiantai and Nichiren Buddhist schools. And I found that it's one of the oldest texts because chapters 1 through 9
Yeah.
were written between 100 BC to 100 AD.
Yeah.
And it appeared mostly around 200 AD in the text. It was believed to be written down and stored in the realm of the snake gods, or Naganas, for about 500 years, and it was reintroduced to the world during the 4th Buddhist Council in Kashmir. And its content is the instruction and usage of skillful means.
That's all you have?
Yeah.
What's the skillful mean? Define the definition about it.
No.
Okay.
That's all I found was
Aisha,
instruction.
have anything to add?
Pretty much covered everything that I had. Just that also it's said to be the discourse delivered by the Buddha for the Buddhist life.
Yeah.
And at the time, humanity had been unable to understand the sutra of the Buddha and the teaching that had to be pulled back. That's really all I've got.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Let me see here. Okay, now, again, this sutra, the Lotus Sutras, is going in line with this ultimate truth here. It's talk about what you call the Buddha nature or your intuition. Now, before I move on, how many of you have pets? Oh, most of you. You love them? Why?
Yeah.
Why you love them? Right? Why they are great? They smart?
I don't know if the ferrets are that smart.
Okay.
They're cute and
They
cuddly.
cute and
He's someone I can talk to.
okay.
They don't judge you back.
That's the point. See that? You see, when you talk to sometimes you have some secret in your life, right? If you want to share that kind of secret, you need to trust that person. Is that right? Otherwise, it spread the rumor. Is that right? And you may ruin your life. But when you talk with your pet, it doesn't know how to spread a rumor. And plus, why it's cute? Why it's nice? Because what? It's had a good nature here. Is that right? But don't go with them. You understand that? Remember we talked about the realm of cycle of rebirth, because they have some limitation there. And even, how do you have children? Okay, you have children. Okay. So, you know that when they were born, right, when they're too young, why do we call them innocent people? Why?
They don't know right from wrong.
No, that's different.
Uh,
That's I don't want to mention about that. They have not disciplined yet. They may know when you train them, when you teach them, right? That is why in Zen tradition they say that we cultivate, we do meditation so that we can go back to our innocent nature. It makes sense? Like the innocent child. Is that clear? That at that time it doesn't, the child doesn't know how to discriminate yet. The child doesn't analyze things yet. The child doesn't make any judgment yet. Because this say with pure nature, with the nature there. With this intuition there. Make sense now? Okay? So go back to this sutra. Again, this talk more about Buddha nature, good nature of your intuition. In the skillful means. Let me put this way here. You know this story? Prodigal, is that prodigal son story?
Yes.
In prison, right? You familiar with this story?
Yeah.
What's the story about?
He had a lot of wealth and stuff, you know, given to him by his father,
Okay.
and he went out and he spent everything he had. He was up and he went straight down.
Okay.
And so he went back though
Okay.
to ask his forgiveness from his father.
And what happened with his brother? He was jealous, right?
Oh yeah, his brother was tore up about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's somehow similar there. In Buddhism, especially those who try this one session, they talk about the prodigal son. Somehow he took off from his wealthy fathers. And of course, he went here and there, and he's so poor to support himself. So one day he stopped back, he went back to his house, but he doesn't know. And he could recognize his wealthy father. But his father recognized him. And he told his people to keep, to hold his son back. But this prodigal son ran away again. So the wealthy man sent his people to make a deal with this son. Okay, come back here, work for us. We will give you decent salary. So he came back and worked in the restroom. That clean the toilet and so forth. But eventually, his father gave him more salary and so forth, and plus, because he's so wealthy, that if he wear the luxury clothes and so forth, his son would be frightened. So he took off all the luxury clothes, fancy clothes, and so forth, to wear the simple clothes, so that he could work together with his son to clean the toilet, a restroom. And eventually, his son feel more comfortable with him, with the wealthy man. And on the last day of his life, on his bed, this wealthy man say, he made announcement to everyone. This is my son, the runaway son, and he has the right to have all my inheritance. That is the story. You understand that story? It's similar, right?
Yeah, it is.
In different contexts, right?
Yeah.
So in this kind of what they call the analogy, the Buddha say, I'm like the wealthy man, and you guys like the runaway son. I have the wealth. Buddha nature here. You're the nature here, but you run away from that wealth. And when you come back, I give you all without any reservation. That is the purpose of the Lotus Sutra. Okay? There's many chapters that talk about that type of analogy. One thing I want to mention too. That's what they call Devadatta chapter. They say that Devadatta, the troublemaker. Remember when we talk about Buddha life, right? He dropped the boulder to harm the Buddha, or he made a scam with the prince to release the wild elephants that had intention to step on the Buddha or to harm the Buddha. So in all the tradition, especially in the Theravada traditions, it's viewed Devadatta as a troublemaker one, right? But in this Mahayana tradition, especially in this sutra, they will say, Devadatta is my good teacher. Without him, I would not achieve the Buddhahood. Without him, I could not become Buddha. Is that strength? Let me put it this way. In our life, right, in the course of our life, we have some people who support us positively, right? And of course, on the other hand, someone who push the burden, who push our burden a lot of time, right? Who obstruct our way, right? How do you view that type of people? Enemy? Bad people? Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you handle them? No way.
But we should be, if we're looking for the ultimate truth, I think we'll be better off.
But can you handle them in real life?
It's difficult.
Difficult. Why? Why is it difficult?
It's not attachments, but it's a rejection type of thing.
Have I told you about my professors? The one said that if someone keep the cell phone on and if screen, he will take off 5% of the rate. Remember that? His top professor. And remember, I told you too, right? In one of our, let's say, essay, right? He picked out every sentence, every word that we make mistake. Let's be a top professor, is that right? You like that kind of professor, or you run away from that kind of professor? Oh, actually, when we went back to school, I met that kind of professor, and even this one Chinese professor, I like his style teaching, but he's so what? He's so picky. No, picky in his in rating. So I never dare to take his class. Again, let me put this way. When we encounter obstruction, whenever we encounter difficulties, it's easy for us to grow up. Then the time that everything is easy for us, or in the opposite way.
The difficulty is better.
Why?
Enough.
And plus, yes.
Are you saying that challenging people are an opportunity for us to grow and to learn?
That's the point I want to say. What do you think? Right?
It's true. It's hard to look at it that way in the moment.
Yeah.
But afterwards you do realize.
Yeah, actually, I told you, I appreciate that professor, the one who made the restriction on our cell phone, or the one who picked every sentence, every wrong word. I really appreciate him. After I have some time with him, after reading my essay and so forth. You understand that? So we learn more about lives when we have challenge. But if things so easy, we take things for granted. Make sense now? Right? So It's up to you. So that's why, that's one of the story that relate to Devadatta. The Buddha view everyone as good teacher, good friends. This, remember, that's the view in Buddhism too. No, in Buddhism, there's no enemy. I told you many times, right? No enemy. Good or bad depend upon the state of mind. One moment that person can be changed into good, another moment can change to bad one, and vice versa. You see that? It's not the physical, not the body, but the state of the mind. State of mind. Make sense now? That is the one of the aspect of Buddhism. So and a lot to discuss about. Okay? Yeah. If I have times in the future, we'll talk. Any question? Is it clear? Let me see here. Who does the sutra? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Oh, I told you. You have anything to talk about this?
The only thing that I could really add is they said that the Buddha is kind of immortal, that even after the physical passing, he's still able to communicate.
Why is immortal? Why?
I'm not sure why they said there's many realms that hold Buddhas and Devas and other spirits.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
That's here. Remember we talked about Nirvana, right? Anyway, so that's the approach of this sutra, and later on when we come across to what the term Buddha nature. Oh, probably next week or the week after next, we talk about the Buddha nature. Okay, we will talk about that more. Okay, good. Let's move on. Number 5. What we have Amitabha Sutra. What's about?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Is that interchangeable with the Pure Land Sutra?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So, well, I wrote a lot, so
Okay.
I'm going to say
Yeah, go ahead.
all of it so that there's something together. How do you say it? Amitabha?
Amitabha.
The Amitabha Sutras are the central text used in the Pure Land Buddhist school. The word Pure Land comes from the description of the realms Buddhists dwell in. Thus, the sect of Buddhism focuses on the doctrines, practices, and beliefs that dealt with the Amitabha Buddha, also known as the Buddha of Infinite Light, or Amitabha, the Buddha of Infinite Life. This Buddha presides over Sukhavita, one of the paradises that exist in one of the 4 cardinal directions, which lies in the west. And Pure Land Buddhisms were heavily influenced by and are based on a collection of 3 sutras and a treatise known as the Jingtu Lom. 2 sutras share the same name, but one is referred to as the shorter, Sukhavitaviyaha, and the other is the longer. The shorter deals with the properties and description of the Amitabha Buddhist Pure Land. It also provides a bit of a description of Amitabha itself. The longer tells of the career of Bodhisattva Dharmahara, who eventually became Amitabha. I got more, but I'll
That's
stop
okay.
there.
Joy, what do you have for this one?
She said the sutra is about Sukhavati, which is translated to land of bliss. Since there is no pain, no devil, no death, and the light of Buddha, you can live forever in there.
This everyone, right? Okay.
If you believe in Amitabha with the right mind, then you will born Sukhavati after your death.
This is ideal place. It's like the heaven in Christian Catholic tradition, right? Let us go over all this and then we summarize this. Okay, the next one. I mean, what do you have there? Is confusion or understandable?
The only thing I could find was the actual text, and
Okay.
it was, and I found people talking about it, but it was like 37 excerpts, and they were like 10 pages long, so
Oh, really?
I couldn't find anything that was like,
On the on course? I paused on the on course? On the results?
I didn't know that.
Oh, you know, please, from now on, if you, please, I know that with my own experience from last semester, I asked the students to do research by themselves. But most of the information I put on the course, on the resource.
Okay, yeah,
So
so
no,
I just searched it.
unless you did all and you could not find, you can go out to find. You can go to different sites to find. But
Okay.
try to read the
I'll do
information
it
I put
tonight.
on course.
Okay, I'll do that one tonight, really.
Right. So, Christina, what do you have then?
Yeah, I read the first few pages of the actual sutra.
Okay.
And whatever was in the book. It's like this king's wife,
Okay.
her son, I guess the king's son too, tried to steal the throne from him, so he like put him in jail, the king and stuff. And the queen was trying to help the king and like